This is not just another health tip. It is a medicine that has existed since the beginning of time, a force made from atoms born in the first few moments after the universe began. It is older than your body, older than your bones, and older than every illness we have ever tried to fight. It is called light, and every morning, it pours down on you for free. If you are over 60 and waking up tired, forgetful, restless, or low on energy, you are not alone. Millions of older adults feel this quiet decline every morning and accept it as part of aging. But what if that slow fade is not just age? What if your body is not failing you? It is simply missing the one signal it has been wired to follow for thousands of years. You see, there is a rhythm inside you, a natural clock that tells your brain when to wake, your hormones when to rise, your heart when to steady, and your mind when to think clearly. That rhythm is not guided by alarms, pills, or routines. It is guided by sunlight. In this video, you will discover why just 10 minutes of morning light can dramatically improve your energy, sleep, focus, and mood, and why most indoor lighting and supplements cannot come close to what real sunlight does. You will understand how your body responds to light on a deep, hormonal, and neurological level, and how ignoring this one simple habit is quietly making life harder than it needs to be. But more importantly, you will learn how to bring this habit into your life even if you live in a city, even if you have limited mobility, and even if you are starting late in life. And it starts right now, not with a pill, not with a gadget, but with a step outside into the light. 1. Morning light is your body's on switch. Have you ever noticed that even after a full night's sleep, you still feel foggy, slow, or somehow half awake the next morning? It's not just about how long you sleep, it's about how your body wakes up. And here's the surprising truth. Your body doesn't wake up when the alarm rings. It wakes up when light hits your eyes. But these days, many of us start our morning in the dark. You wake up, grab your phone, and scroll in bed checking messages, reading news, maybe watching a few videos. 20, 30 minutes go by, and all that time your eyes are still soaking in darkness. No sunlight, no wake-up signal to your brain. And the result, your brain stays confused. Your body feels sluggish. It's like your engine is still in sleep mode because the spark that really starts it all never arrived. You see, your brain, especially the part called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or your body's master clock, needs morning sunlight to know it's time to turn everything on. When that light enters your eyes, it triggers a powerful biological switch that tells your nervous system, your organs, and even your hormones. It's morning. Let's go. Imagine your body like a car engine on a cold morning. You might have a full tank of sleep, but without the spark of morning light, the engine turns slowly, if at all. That spark, that warm-up, is what sunlight gives you. So how do you give your body that morning ignition? Simple. Don't just lie there scrolling. Step outside, or at least open a window and let the light in. Just 10 to 15 minutes of real outdoor light within the first hour of waking can flip the switch. And to be clear, this has to be direct sunlight. Sunlight through a window, windshield, or sunglasses doesn't count. Glass filters out the exact wavelengths your brain needs to receive the signal. And yes, even on a cloudy day, the outdoor light is many times stronger than anything inside your home. Once you start giving your brain that signal, something changes. You feel clearer, brighter. You're no longer dragging your body through the morning, you're moving with it. And now that you're up and running, let's look at what else morning sunlight can do inside your body far beyond just waking you up. 2. Sunlight resets your hormones, not just vitamin D. Most people think sunlight is just about vitamin D. And yes, that's important. But if that's all you think it does, you're missing the bigger story. Morning sunlight is actually a powerful hormone reset button, especially for 3 of the most important chemicals that control how you feel and function every single day: cortisol, melatonin, and serotonin. Let's take it one by one. First, oral cortisol. You may have heard it called the stress hormone, But in the right balance, it's not the enemy. It's what helps you feel awake, alert, and ready to take on the day. And what tells your brain to release cortisol at the right time. It's not coffee, it's not movement, it's light specifically. The bright, direct light of the morning sun entering your eyes. When that happens, your body receives a clear, natural signal that it's time to rise, focus, and engage with the world. But here's what often goes wrong. When seniors wake up and stay indoors under dim lights, or stay in bed scrolling on their phone, their brain doesn't get that light-based signal. Cortisol stays low when it should rise, and then spikes too late in the day, making it harder to sleep at night, and harder to feel truly awake in the morning. Now let's talk about melatonin, your body's sleep hormone. Most people think melatonin only matters at bedtime, but the truth is, it needs to be turned off in the morning in order to work properly at night. When sunlight hits your eyes after waking, it tells your brain to pause melatonin production. And that pause is essential because it allows melatonin to gradually build up again throughout the day, peaking at night to help you fall asleep naturally and stay asleep deeply. Without that morning light, melatonin lingers. You stay groggy, mentally cloudy, and physically slow. Then, when evening comes, your body doesn't know it's time to wind down and sleep becomes another struggle. Finally, Vichy, there's serotonin, the feel-good chemical that helps regulate your mood, appetite, memory, and sense of well-being. Morning sunlight triggers the release of serotonin in the brain, lifting your spirits and helping you feel emotionally grounded. And for older adults who may be dealing with isolation, grief, or low energy, this simple daily boost can make a profound difference without needing a prescription. Think of these three hormones like members of a carefully tuned orchestra. Cortisol sets the rhythm for your mornings. Serotonin carries the melody through the day, and melatonin brings in the quiet notes at night. But for that orchestra to play in harmony, it needs a conductor. And that conductor is sunlight, especially the kind you receive in the morning. So what can you do? Starting tomorrow, as soon as you wake up, make it a habit to step outside within the first 30 to 60 minutes. Let your eyes take in the natural morning light for at least 10 minutes more if you can. Skip the sunglasses if possible, and make sure you're not behind a window or windshield. This needs to be direct outdoor light, because only that gives your brain the full spectrum it needs to reset your internal clock. Do this for just 1 week, and you may start to notice the difference: mornings that feel lighter, evenings that bring deeper rest, and days that feel just a little more steady and clear. And once your hormones begin to fall back into rhythm, there's another beautiful shift that happens, one that goes deeper than sleep or energy. Let's talk about how morning light touches your emotions and why that matters more than most people think. 3. 10 minutes of light equals a natural antidepressant. As we grow older, it is not just the body that slows down. Often, the heart and spirit begin to feel heavier too. You may have felt it yourself. Those quiet mornings when something feels off, you are not exactly sick, you are not in pain, but the spark is missing. The joy feels a little more distant. The world feels a little less inviting. Many people accept this as a normal part of aging. They assume that feeling low, flat, or unmotivated is just what happens with time. But in many cases, that emotional heaviness is not just about age. It is about something much simpler: a lack of sunlight. Your brain needs morning light to regulate a key chemical called serotonin. This is the same chemical targeted by many antidepressant medications. But nature already built a solution into your daily rhythm. When natural light enters your eyes in the morning, it activates specific cells in your retina. These cells send a signal to your brainstem, which in turn tells your brain to produce more serotonin. This simple chain reaction helps lift your mood, sharpen your focus, and stabilize your emotions for the rest of the day. Unlike pills, this effect is gentle, free of side effects, and designed by nature itself. 10 minutes a day may not sound like much, but over time, it creates a steady emotional foundation, especially for seniors who spend more time indoors or have lost the rhythm of daily outdoor activity. Think of serotonin like a warm glow inside your mind. It does not make you euphoric. It simply reminds you that life still holds meaning, that the day ahead is worth stepping into, and that your presence still matters. And the switch that turns that glow on is waiting outside. Every morning, even on cloudy days, just 10 to 15 minutes of outdoor light can make a difference. It does not have to be full sun. What matters is that the light is direct and natural. Through a window is not enough. Indoor bulbs do not work. Your body knows the difference. So tomorrow, instead of lingering in bed or going straight to the kitchen, step outside, leave your phone behind, look at the sky, breathe slowly, let the light enter your eyes and your day. Over time, those 10 quiet minutes will become more than a habit. They will become a source of strength. And once your mood begins to rise, you may start to notice other changes too. Your sleep improves, your thoughts become clearer, and the world around you feels just a little more alive. But why is natural light so much more powerful than the lights we have inside our homes? That is exactly what we will explore next. 4. Light helps you sleep deeper by starting early. Most people think that sleep starts at night, that the things you do in the evening determine how well you rest. And while that is partly true, there is something even more surprising. Good sleep actually begins in the morning. More specifically, it begins with light. You see, your body runs on an internal rhythm called the circadian clock. This clock decides when you feel awake, when you feel sleepy, and how deep your sleep actually is. And what sets this clock every single day is not bedtime. It is morning light. When natural light enters your eyes in the early part of the day, it sends a powerful message to your brain. It says, this is morning, start the timer. And about 14 to 16 hours after that moment, your body will begin to release melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep. But if that morning signal never comes, the timer stays off. Your sleep gets delayed. You lie in bed at night feeling wired or restless, wondering why you cannot drift off, even when you are tired. This is why so many seniors say they sleep less as they get older. Yes, age does change sleep patterns, but what often gets ignored is that older adults also tend to spend more time indoors, or wake up and stay in dim rooms without enough morning light. Their internal clock never gets reset, and over time, the body forgets when to sleep deeply and when to wake up refreshed. Imagine trying to grow a healthy plant in a dark room. No matter how good the soil is, without sunlight, the plant will droop and lose its rhythm. Your sleep is the same. It needs light to guide it, and the earlier you give that light, the better your nights will be. So what should you do? Within 1 hour of waking up, make it a habit to step outside. Even if it is just on your balcony or front porch, look toward the direction of the sun. Even if it is cloudy, let that natural light enter your eyes. Not through a window, not from a screen. Your body needs to feel the real morning world to know where it is in time. You do not need to meditate. You do not need to exercise. Just 10 minutes of stillness in daylight is enough to begin rebalancing your entire sleep system. Many people notice the change in just a few days. Falling asleep comes more easily. Sleep feels deeper, more restorative, and mornings no longer feel like a struggle. Once your nights become smoother, your days naturally begin to lift. But light does not only shape your sleep, it also feeds your brain. Let us take a look at how morning light helps sharpen your focus, protect your memory, and keep your mind more resilient as you age. 5. Your brain uses light to sharpen focus and memory. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you were there, or found yourself rereading the same sentence over and over because your mind just would not settle? These moments become more common with age, and many people assume it is simply part of getting older. But what most do not realize is that light plays a powerful role in how clearly we think, how well we focus, and how strong our memory stays. Morning light does not just wake you up physically, it also wakes up your mind. When natural light enters your eyes after you wake, it stimulates the pathways between your retina and areas of the brain responsible for attention, learning, and memory. These areas include the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus, two regions deeply involved in processing information and forming new memories. Light acts like a signal booster. It tells your brain, pay attention. It is time to engage with the world. It increases alertness, improves reaction time, and even enhances working memory, your ability to hold and use information in the moment. And here is something especially important for older adults. As we age, our brain sensitivity to light decreases. That means we need more exposure to natural light, not less, to achieve the same mental clarity we used to have when we were younger. But in reality, many seniors live in dimly lit homes, or only step outside later in the day when the light is weaker. The brain never gets fully switched on. As a result, focus becomes harder, memory feels slower, and the mind begins to feel cloudy, not from age alone, but from missing the one thing it needs to fully activate. Imagine trying to read a book in a poorly lit room. The words are there, but your eyes strain, your head aches, and your mind gives up. Now imagine switching on a bright lamp. Suddenly, everything becomes easier. That is exactly what natural morning light does for your brain. It brightens the entire space inside your mind. So how can you support your mental clarity each day? First, expose yourself to outdoor light as early as you can. Even 10 minutes is a good start. The light needs to reach your eyes directly without sunglasses and without glass in between. Second, make it a habit. The effects of light build with consistency. Over time, your brain begins to expect that early signal and becomes more responsive to it. If you combine this with simple mental habits like reading a few pages, journaling, or having a focused conversation after stepping into the light, you may find your thinking becomes more fluid, more connected, more alive. And as your brain becomes more stable and alert, something else begins to happen. The nervous system, often stressed and overworked in the background, starts to settle. In the next part, we will look at why artificial lighting fails to do what natural light can and how to make sure you are not relying on the wrong kind of brightness. 6. Why indoor lighting does not count. By now, you might be wondering, does it really have to be sunlight? What about the lights in your house? Or those bright LED bulbs you keep on during the day? The truth is, indoor lighting simply does not come close to what your brain and body need. Most standard indoor bulbs, whether they are soft yellow lights or even bright white ones, produce only a fraction of the brightness and spectrum found in natural sunlight. To your eyes, a room might look well lit, but to your brain, that same room feels like dusk. It is not enough to reset your internal clock or stimulate the hormone and brain activity we talked about earlier. Let's look at the numbers for a moment. A typical indoor light provides about 100 to 300 lux, which is a measure of brightness. In contrast, even on a cloudy morning, natural outdoor light starts at around 1,000 lux and can go up to 10,000 or more. On a bright sunny day, it can reach 50,000 lux or beyond. That means sitting near a lamp inside is like watering a garden with a teacup. It is just not enough to nourish the system. Your body knows the difference. Your brain knows the difference. And unfortunately, no amount of overhead lighting, screen time, or artificial light can truly replace what nature provides in just a few minutes outdoors. Now, here's another common misunderstanding. You might think that sitting near a window is good enough, but most windows block out large portions of the light spectrum, especially ultraviolet and blue light, which are key to triggering the brain's full wake-up response. Windshields, sunglasses, and tinted glass do the same. The signal gets weaker, the effect becomes muted, the body stays confused. Think of it like music. Indoor lighting is like a song played through a broken speaker. You hear something, but the details are missing. It feels dull, flat, and hard to connect with. Natural light, by comparison, is full volume, full clarity. It reaches you deeply, and it moves things inside you that artificial light simply cannot. So what should you do? Make it a priority to step outside each morning, even if only for 10 minutes. Let the light touch your eyes without any barriers. No glass, no roof, just sky above and space around you. If you have limited mobility, find a safe spot on a balcony or patio where you can sit comfortably. If you live in a cold or urban environment, bundle up if needed. The temperature is less important than the light itself. This small act of physically entering the morning world does more for your health than most people realize. And once you stop depending on indoor light alone, your body begins to respond. Energy improves, sleep deepens, emotions become steadier, focus returns. But the real power of light does not come from one day or one walk. It comes from creating a rhythm, a habit, a daily moment of connection with nature. That is what we will explore in the next and final section, how to build a light-based morning ritual that feels good, fits your life, and helps you stay sharp, calm, and well-balanced for years to come. 7. How to build a morning light routine that sticks. By now, you understand how powerful morning sunlight can be. It wakes up your body, resets your hormones, improves your mood, deepens your sleep, sharpens your mind, and does what indoor light never could. But like any health habit, the key is not knowing it. The key is doing it, and more importantly, doing it consistently. So how do you build a morning light routine that actually sticks, especially if your mornings are already full or your body feels slow when you wake up? Start with something simple, not perfect, not complicated, just a small shift that fits into your life as it is right now. If you usually check your phone in bed, try this. Instead of scrolling for 20 minutes in the dark, open the curtains, sit by an open window, or better yet, take a few steps outside. Let the light hit your face while you stretch, breathe, or simply stand still. That alone can change how your entire day unfolds. If you drink tea or coffee in the morning, bring your cup outside. Sit on a chair near your front door, your balcony, or in a patch of sun in the yard. No need to force a meditation or make it feel like work. Just let it be quiet time. Let the light do its job while you simply enjoy the moment. If you walk your dog, water your plants, or take out the trash early in the day, treat that as your light moment. Do it with presence. Do not rush back inside. Take an extra minute to breathe with the morning. And if mobility or weather makes it hard to be outside, try to sit by a fully open window. With no glass between you and the sky, the more open air and natural view your body receives, the better the signal reaches your brain. The most important thing is to tie your light exposure to something you already do. That way, it becomes part of your rhythm, not another task to remember. At first, it may feel like nothing is happening, but keep going. After 3 to 5 days, many people notice deeper sleep. After 1 or 2 weeks, mood and clarity improve. And over time, this one quiet act becomes something your body craves and your mind relies on. Some people write it in their planner. Others set a morning alarm not to wake up, but to step outside. A few even make it a shared moment with a spouse, a neighbor, or a grandchild. There is no wrong way to do it, as long as you do it. Because at the end of the day, the goal is not perfection. The goal is rhythm. Your body, your brain, and your spirit all move in cycles. And when you give them light each morning, you are not just helping yourself feel better today. You are investing in a stronger, clearer, and more peaceful tomorrow. Now that you know how to bring the light back in, the question becomes simple. Will you step outside tomorrow morning and begin? Let the light in. You do not need to change everything about your life. You do not need to chase one more supplement, one more routine, or one more complicated piece of advice. Sometimes, the most powerful shift comes from something simple, something you already have access to, something as ancient as the stars and as gentle as a morning breeze. Just 10 minutes of light, not light through glass, not light from a screen, real light, morning light, the kind your body understands, the kind your brain has been waiting for. Step outside, look up, let the day greet you before the world starts pulling you in every direction. And as the days pass, notice what changes: your sleep, your mood, your memory, your mornings. Because this is not just light. This is a medicine made from atoms that have existed since the beginning of time, a force that has guided life long before we understood it. So let this ancient light in. Let it touch your eyes, your skin, your spirit, and let it heal you gently, quietly, the way it always has. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to share how you feel in the comments. Have you tried this before? Will you try it tomorrow? What part of your day feels different when you start with light? And if you know someone who has been feeling tired, low, or out of rhythm, send this video to them. Sometimes all it takes is one reminder that healing does not always come from doing more. It comes from reconnecting with what was always there. Thank you for spending this time here. Take care, and may your mornings be filled with light.